16 years after his last US cinematic outing, is it finally a return to form for Godzilla? Hi everyone, it's me Ben Almaden and welcome to Entertainment Zone. I'm here today for my review of Godzilla. Saw the movie a week ago, actually last Friday, but I've really needed the time to sit and think about it and digest it because I have a lot of mixed feelings and opinions on this film. Gareth Edwards, I'm a fan of him as a director. I like his style, like his work. And visually, he really delivered on Godzilla, and the special effects were top-notch. His cinematic style was good, and the atmosphere was good. Where I think the film lacked, though, was in the choice of story it told. There is a good cast. Bryan Cranston, probably the best thing in the movie, though he is severely underused. Aaron Taylor-Johnson in the lead role, he wasn't bad. I don't think it was his best performance we've ever seen from him, but he wasn't bad in this film. And the other acting highlight in the movie for me was Ken Watanabe as Dr. Serizawa. You know, he really delivered the human element and, you know, the connection he kind of had with Godzilla. It was really interesting. Again, he was kind of underused too, which is a shame. You know, I think the strongest characters in the movie ended up being underused, which goes for Godzilla himself as well. Now, I'm all for building up and taking a while to actually see him and start getting Godzilla into action, because I think it builds the atmosphere, and Edwards did that in the movie. But when we did get Godzilla, we simply still weren't getting enough of him. And some of the plot directions, the way that Edwards chose to steer the film, I think will leave a lot of audiences disappointed. I'm not going to say too much right now because I need to go into more spoiler territory to discuss more. What I'll say, it's a visually striking movie with a good atmosphere. The pace was a little slower than I expected it to be, if I'm honest. As a movie, it's good. I'd give it 3 out of 5, 7 out of 10. But as a Godzilla movie, honestly, I was severely underwhelmed. You know, I've been looking forward to this for 2 years. I had a feeling this could even be the film of the year, and I'm wrong. It's not the best film that's come out this year, but it's certainly not the worst either. I'd watch it again. It does make up for the terrible Roland Emmerich movie, but sadly it's not the Godzilla film I think fans have been waiting for. As I said, the atmosphere and the dark tone of the movie, great, but characters severely underused, underdeveloped. Godzilla, where there's no fear even from Godzilla, which is what disappointed me. So yes, I left the film feeling very underwhelmed. As a movie, it's a good film, enjoyable. As a Godzilla movie, underwhelming. So if you haven't seen the movie, do go out and see it and let me know your thoughts. For those of you who have seen it, I'm going to go into spoiler territory now, so we can discuss in a bit more depth. So if you haven't seen the movie, this is your spoiler alert. Stop watching now. Okay, so Bryan Cranston was killed off fairly early, and the fact that they did this was, to me, a real shock. You know, he's a really relatable character. You endear towards him. You know, you want him to prove everybody wrong. You want him to be the one to take on Godzilla, you know, in a way, because of what Godzilla and the monsters have caused, and, you know, all to do with his family. We like him. And the fact that he gets offed so early, I think, was a bad mistake. I think there was a lot of potential for Bryan Cranston's character to carry the movie. Aaron Taylor-Johnson did an okay job, but to me the character didn't really go through any development at all, whereas Bryan Cranston's character definitely had a journey ahead of him that sadly he was robbed of. And my other problem with the film really was Godzilla being a good guy. He barely caused any damage and destruction. He just wants to be left alone and acknowledged as the king of the monsters. The other Mutos come into it. Mutos that kind of bear resemblance to Mothra, but isn't Mothra, because there are little Mothra Easter eggs in there, and I've heard they may be using him for the sequel. But he just takes on these monsters and leaves. Seeing Godzilla swimming with the boats and stuff, I was just like, what? I don't know. I just think he's the king of the monsters, yet there's no reason to fear him. The only damage he caused was accidental damage. If I was helming this movie, I think we would have had Godzilla return for the first time since 1954, wreak havoc globally, and people really struggled to bring him down, and then I would have ended the movie with him eventually being brought down, but little do we know he's alive. And then for the sequel I would have done this movie where the humans would have to rely on Godzilla to take down new monsters. But I think even with this film, the humans don't fear Godzilla. The audience have got no reason to fear him because he seems a benevolent creature. So maybe once he destroyed the monsters, had Godzilla then gone on a rampage himself and thought, screw you humans, it's my time to shine now, then that could have been a good twist. But I was underwhelmed. As I said earlier, I'm all for the idea of building up to a reveal. I'm glad that they took the time to show Godzilla, but then when we got him, he was barely used to any effect, no fear, and the spotlight was more on the other monsters, and can we defeat them? And it just underwhelmed. I know Godzilla was ultimately a good guy or an anti-hero in many of the previous Japanese movies, and in the original Godzilla movie, and I think it was the first four, he was a badass bad guy, bringer of destruction, and I think that's what we should have seen in the movie. So that's all I really want to discuss on the film, because it really has left me underwhelmed. Have I hyped it up too much? I don't know. I'm disappointed because I didn't get the story I wanted, which is why I feel kind of bad, because as a film, as I say, as a film it is good. As a monster movie it's good, but for me as a Godzilla fan, this is not the Godzilla movie I was expecting, and to be honest I expected a little more from Gareth Edwards. Okay, so if you have seen the film, as I say, leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on it. I'm dying to hear this, because I do honestly believe this film will split public opinion. And remember, for the latest movie news and reviews, be sure to subscribe. The X-Men Days of Future Past review will be coming up soon. Can't wait for that. Okay guys, take care and speak to you soon.